Hi, my name is Janina. I'm part of Studio 16B and we have made it our challenge to bring change into organizations as a capability and not just as a project. And part of this challenge is to have workshops with teams and think with them about their future and where they want to be as a team, but also as part of an organization that creates value. And we talk a lot about strategy and what that means for the organization. And all this input has, in my head, formed a sentence about strategy that I would like to share with you today. So for me, strategy is the execution of decisions taken to evolve from a current state to a future state. And if we are in the business context, actually I would extend that sentence saying the execution of decisions taken to evolve from a current state to a future state to sustain or create successful organizations. That's what it is about, that we have an organization which can thrive and which is fit for future. But what does that actually mean? So first of all, you have your current state. You need to understand, where do I stand, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, where are the points where I would like to improve on. And then you have the future state, and that is a picture you paint about where does my organization want to be in a few years? How will my products evolve? What kind of culture, what kind of work environment do I want to have in my organization? How will technology evolve, and what does that mean for my services or products that I'm offering? What does that mean for potential competitors which come into the market? All these things and a lot more we need to consider when we paint this future picture. And this future picture is most valuable when it's a simple one, but a colorful one. So a picture that motivates people to go there. It creates kind of a tension, kind of a rubber band that drags you into the direction. Because that means the from to part, this movement from current to future, is easier because people want to go there. They don't want to stay here. They understand what are the challenges that we currently have, and they want to contribute to going to the improved picture of the organization because they understand that for them it's also an improvement, that it's a value to create that. What we have often is that we have these big projects which do a huge change effort. A lot of money is thrown into that. A lot of people are taken into the organization to do the change, and the employees are affected by it and have to move along with it. But everyone is hoping for the time when the project is over and you can return to your normal work. And this is not sustainable, and I'm not sure if it ever was. I think there's a time in a company's life where this can be your best shot, and that's when the company is in trouble and you need to now change something in order to survive. But that's not the situation we want to be in. We want to prevent that we get to that situation. If we are a company which is okay, then we don't need these big projects. Then it's better to have the change evolving from within the company and to train the employees to make change a normal part of work. And that's actually like a muscle you have to train, because we all love our comfort zones. We all love to know what's coming, how we are set in that system, and where we are safe, how we know how to do our work. But this will not create progress. And therefore we allow our organization to move out of the comfort zone and train it, to do little steps, do little experiments, try out something in a safe zone, and then reflect on it and learn from it. As an individual, what does that do with me when I do that brave step? It can actually be fun to work with a team on these things, be creative, do something new. It can be very rewarding, it can be challenging. So an evolutionary stepwise approach is a great idea to train the muscle of change. But it's also a good idea when you plan your way from A to B. What we would love is that we have the best planned out way and we can just go it. But that's also not realistic, because this future state, the future picture that we are creating in our minds is based on assumptions. We don't know the future. We have assumptions on what it's going to be like, But we know from the past that we will always be surprised at what's happening left or right that we didn't predict. Unfortunately, we can't plan out the road and get there. What we can do is to say, okay, based on the assumptions we have today, what would be the best next step for us as an organization to move towards this future picture? To start moving, to let the rubber band drag us along the way. And we will find a lot of options. Not all options are the right ones for us, so they have to fit to our company culture. They have to fit to the kind of products and services we want to provide, how we want to be perceived. So that means we have to decide for specific options and communicate this decision. So that's the way we will go in the next months. Then we can enable and allow the teams to think on their level, what can we do in order to contribute getting there? And with that, getting there. All the teams are involved into executing strategic topics. And executing means once we have done the planning, what do we want to achieve in the next months, but also in the next years, that's the time when we need to start doing it. The start doing it is not so complicated, but the keep doing it, that's the complicated one. Because we need to integrate it into our routines. We need to integrate it into our daily work. And this is a challenge because you need to constantly keep that picture up in your consciousness. So you need to bring it into your weekly routines. And you need to prioritize this kind of work as well, next to all these urgent escalation topics that come onto the desks every day. And some ideas how you can do that we will also share in the next videos. So for me, strategy is both. It's the thinking about where am I now, where do I want to be, how do I get there, what are my first steps, but also the doing. So actually doing the steps, and one cannot happen without the other. If you don't do the thinking first and you just do, then your energy is not channeled into a certain direction. Then it's going into all possible directions. If you don't do the doing part, then you have a beautiful plan, but you will stand here. You will stay here. So we need both. And one beauty about the stepwise approach is that once you have done your first step and gone a bit into the direction of your big picture, take your head out of the work, reflect on the way you have come and what you have achieved, and learn from that. Learn if it was the right thing to do, if it brings you closer here, or if actually you did a detour and it's not getting you where you thought. So that means for the next period you have to change your plan. It can also give you insights about what does the future look like. So your future picture can change. As a consequence also means that you will never arrive there. With your picture evolving and the steps you're making, there's always something you can improve. And that's quite frustrating because you want to be finished. You want to have this feeling of success and to check a box and get your dopamine. And with that you can't have it. But what you can have it with is these small ones. If you take your head out of the water or out of the work and you reflect and learn, it's also the time for celebrating what you have achieved. If you have started to move into that direction a little bit, then it's already better than just staying here. And that's something we can celebrate. And if we then after time look at all the achievements of all the teams and all these little things that pile up to a really big thing, then we see the impact of all these little steps and what big achievements we can have with them. And also how we as an organization learn to deal with change and how change becomes something normal for us, something that's in our DNA. It's a muscle we regularly use. So that's what strategy is for me. The thinking and the doing, and the success of moving and getting towards your target picture. Okay, thank you very much for staying with me this time, and I wish you a great day. I'm looking forward to your comments, to your insights on strategy, because that will also help me learn and evolve. Also, my journey is not at an end. Maybe in 2 weeks or in 2 years I will do another video on strategy because, yeah, I have learned along the way. So help me learn, and I hope I can also help you learn a bit, and I will do so in the next videos as well. Have a great day. Bye.